Ndewo ndị a gọziri agọzi, ụmụ Chineke, ụmụ eluigwe, bịara ije n'elu ụwa. Once again, we bring you these messages as it burns in our hearts, as it is laid in our hearts. N'ihi na Jehova bụ Chineke anyị hụrụ ụmụ ya n'anya. Ọ hụrụ ụmụ Biafra niile n'anya. We are the ancient and noble people. We are the original race. To us shall the first dominion return. Anyị gwara unu that the time and the era of the dominion of the Western powers has come to an end. Many of the things that we said to you, many found it difficult to believe. But every word and every counsel and every prophetic word that we have given you, you can verify and testify. Upon the watch is not of human mind or opinion, but is a prophetic intelligence, spiritual intelligence that gives us insight into a view that is well, far above human view, perception, or human access. So, ụmụ Biafra, ụmụ ndị a gọziri agọzi, ndị eluigwe na-ekele unu, mụnwa na-ekelekwa unu, bụrụ onye ozi. Let us understand something. Anyị gwara unu in the last message, n'oge a bụ oge ihere, bụkwara oge confusion, and also a time that awaits our decision as a people. Jehovah n'onwe ya can from one man raise a nation, a new nation and a generation. O nweghị ife rara ya ahụ omume, nwe ihe n'ọpụghị ime. Nothing is too hard, too difficult, or impossible with onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa, Chineke anyị Jehova nke usu niile nke ndị agha. Onye ahụ bụ onye ochie ya ahụ, onye ebigebi si n'ebigebi, bụ na-ebi n'ebigebi, juru ebigebi niile, wuru ebigebi dịka ụlọ obibi nke ya onwe ya bi n'ime ya. He builded all things, Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, the first and the last, determining the times and the seasons appointed for dominions, for powers, for authorities, and for men to hold the scepter, and for when the scepter shall be taken, and when the baton shall change and switch, the times that shall be switched from one season to another season. Onye na-achị ụwa niile, the multiverse, which means incredible, infinite creation that many have never ever imagined about. But we are in the universe, just one portion of the massive, endless universe. Anyị ebidobedịghị o, anyị amatabeghị ihe otu o kwesịrị ka anyị si mata. O nwebeghị ihe anyị na-aghọtana otu o kwesịrị ka anyị ghọta. Anyị ka na-eji ije n'itiri. We are still walking in the darkness. But it is time to awake from slumber. That which is determined is that which shall be done. Okwu niile anyị gwara unu bụ okwu niile ga-emezu. The Exodus was a movement of prophecy determined before the first dawn of creation. Ka anyị kwukwa ya ọzọ, it was a movement of prophecy that onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa determined before the first dawn of creation. It was unveiled to the patriarch Abraham in a vision. It was commissioned to Moses when the time approached, when the time came, almost 400 years after it was unveiled to the patriarch Abraham in a vision. Then it was superintended by the captain of the glorious ancient hosts. Onye oche ya ahụ, onye lụrụ agha ebighị ebi, merie, Jehova nke usu niile nke ndị agha, onye pụrụ ime ihe niile, the mighty warrior and conqueror of the everlasting ages. Unu gee ntị, stage by stage, phase by phase, step by step, na ọ ga-edu ndị ya, he will lead his people to the end of that which he alone has determined. The powers of the world are shaking, trembling like the expired leaves of a tree. They are all falling, submitting. Akunafuna. Anyị gwara unu that the empire of the three lions, which is Britain, United Kingdom, has come to the end of its existence, an end of its dominion, the end of its reign and of its power. There shall be no more monarchy. We gwara unu some time ago about that the Commonwealth will be brought to its end. To your tent, O Israel, nations will go and be free, no longer amalgamated into a chain or a company of sovereign states owing allegiance, paying allegiance, being submissive or subjected to a particular dominion and power which holds and spreads its wing over 3/4 of the earth. Ụmụ Chineke, ụmụ Biafra, the curse is where all curses converge. No one ever chooses a vessel for him. N'ihi na ya onwe ya knows the instruments, the vessels, before the beginning of time, before the beginning of the world, before the first man was ever molded from clay, dust of the earth. And he breathed into the nostrils of that man, and he became a living soul. He has already marshaled out all souls, all beings, all generations, all who were to sojourn in time. Gaa njem, n'ihi ya onwe ya gaa na njem n'elu ụwa tupu ụwa niile, tupu mmadụ ebido gawa njem. He has already sojourned through time before time was given to man to sojourn. Those whose work are finished, he takes out of the way. Anyị gwara unu na Jehova onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa ga-awụtu, wepụ ndị mmadụ n'ụzọ, nacha ha ihe ha ji ekwu okwu aba mba, ka fa mara na ha bụ ụmụ ụwa, nwa nke mmadụ. They are just mortals. Naanị Jehova bụ eternal, onye ebighị ebi. Kings and queens, dominions and powers will all come and go. Mightier kings have come on the stage of this world and they have exited. Onugenti, you can use your tongue to count your teeth now from what we have just said. No mortal can ever play Alpha and Omega, or Oka Ome of that which originates from the great eternal one. Chineke anyị, onye ebighị ebi, onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa. The battle is the Lord's, and he alone chooses his own captains for the war. Every battle is won before the war even begins. Unu jee n'ekwe akwụkwọ nsọ. Mgbe the children of Israel were oppressed mightily by Jabin, one of the evil, wicked kings, because the children of Israel gahere ụzọ. They did evil in the sight of Jehovah onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa, and they were put in subjection. And by this, they cried unto the Lord for 20 years. Jehovah no. N'ocheeze ya na-ele n'afọ. 1,000 years is like nothing n'iru Jehovah. A generation can be bypassed. 40 generations or 100 generations can be bypassed. Ụmụ Biafra genonte, may not this generation be bypassed. That the generation can be bypassed does not affect anything in the determinate counsel of Onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa. It does not move anything in heaven. If the heaven has to wait for another 100 years to give Biafra to the children, anyị tọrọ atọ. But this is our time. This is our hour. Unu bilie, unu teta n'ụra. All this obedience and usefulness and satanic and slave catchphrase and whatever it is will not take us forward, but backwards. Will not take us anywhere. Obi's presidency will not give us Biafra or give us any preservation or any hope. It is to truncate our movement. By the time many of those screaming and shouting in the jamboree and razzmatazz of political nonsense would wake up from sleep, it will be too late. Ụmụ Biafra niile, gekwanụ ntị n'olu Jehovah. If we let this hour pass by, we are gone for good. Jehovah will raise one man, and from one man a nation, and from one nation generations and generations a race. Ofu onye Moses ya biko. Neama. I said, Moses, step aside. Let me destroy these people because of their stiff-neckedness, their stubbornness, their stupidity. And I will make of you, Moses, a nation. Oh, he can do it. Okay, he can make it. He can bring it up. He has the power. Obiabo mmụọ mụrụ mmụọ. Nna nke bụ nna karịrị nna niile bụ isi nna ha nna, the great father, the first father, the eternal father, nna mbụ mụrụ nna niile. Mmụọ mụrụ mmụọ niile, ebighị ebi nke chọpụtara ebighị ebi. Chai! Ụmụ Biafra. Unu ejinekwu anya akpọnye n'imi o, n'ihi na oge dị egwu na-abịa. We told you the powers have come to their final day. The powers ji ụwa niile alụrụ agha n'ime mmụọ. There was a clash at the castle. WWE shouldn't clash at the castle. But not beyond that. There was also a battle and a war that raged in the heavenly realms to dislodge the powers that are holding the earth. And from these powers are the powers that hold the ancient and noble people of Biafra. Jehovah togo anyị na-apụ. The queen is gone for good. Ogosigo that she is nothing but a mere mortal, subject to the eternal. So is all mortals. All the men and 18 are nothing. Obio, Hope Uzadema, Wike, all of them have a vain show of power. They are mortals. God decided their fate at the hour that is appointed. But Biafra is non-negotiable. Biafra is, I repeat, non-negotiable. It's a determined cause. Is a determination that can never be waved aside, compromised, negotiated, traded for. Onye sikwore Biafra, ore generation, re aporiani, ne obakwara otobara aka. And there's an answer, oh, this woman that's speaking is a lesbian. But Jehovah Jireh, a woman, to destroy the captain, Sisera, the captain of the hosts of the army that has held Israel down for over 20 years. Jabin's army, the captain of Jabin's army, with over 900 chariots or whatever, very powerful. And Jehovah told, they went to Deborah. Deborah sent for Barak, si ya na onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa akpọpụta na ya, họpụta na ya for honor. But that the victory, the glory will not be his. It will be through a woman. Jehovah were a woman, an unknown woman, and sold and took Sisera right into her tent. This woman destroyed this mighty army general. Nwanyi nwanne anyị nwanyi Uju anya pụtara kwuo okwu. Jehovah used a female voice to send a message to a dying monarch. Unu abịa pụtasịwa na ọ bụ nke a, na ọ bụ nke a, na ọ dịrị ọcha, na ọ bụ lesbian. Jehovah used the son of a prostitute, Jephthah, to deliver Israel. Of a castaway, of a rejected stone. But that rejected stone was used to deliver Israel. Jehovah nani ma onye kwadoro, the leveler that will go forth and finish this work. Unu chere, unu nọrọ na nche, onye adala mba. Don't follow the political bandwagon of nonsense. Biafra is our destiny. It is now or never.